And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rafael Chacín, as known as El Capitán Rafucho, and welcome everybody to a special episode of Silver and Black Experience. No BS, no drama, no filter, just Raiders, baby. And of course, we just had a great opportunity to be here on this at this precise moment like this, because after we just doing a live stream with the Surveyor Raider, we're just talking about for Khalil Mack, also the influence of Antonio Pierce as the new head coach. I mean, there's a lot of things to do to get involved in this. I mean, this is happening like great things are really coming at the next season for the Raiders. And I think this is happened at a time for anything can happen. So right now, before I had to bring the stage right here for a special guest, I'm gonna check out for the comments right here. All right, let's just see what I got. Robert Peña's in the building. How's it going, Robert Peña? Salute to you, as usual, as always, and I do in the chats. Also, my man, Protect the Shield podcast, my man Chris. He does say, have a great show, Rafa. There you go. Also, we got Rob Productions. How's it going? Salute to you. The Menace is in the building. Salute to you. Also, Daniel Bear is in the building. I mean, everybody is popping out to the chat because before I had to go for it, I mean, this is like a really excited for me because not only it just about for a few moments that we just brought like a special guest because I heard that's gonna be like a technical issues right here, but I just realized that it could be happening like in every minute that happens. So yeah, let's just get started because right now let's see it from the news. I mean, just so much in the detail right here because the influence on Antonio Pierce, also with Tom Telesco as a new general manager. So on that last stream we just had with the one and only Surveyor Raider, we just talking about the Tom Telesco, the pros and cons and everything. I mean, and I went through the second, but and at this moment, I mean, with Tom Telesco right here, I mean, there's some great things, but also we just take it about like great advantage. I mean, there's like certain things that we should know about for Tom Telesco. I mean, they have a great relationship. I mean, he just had like a lot of 11 years of experience. All right, so let's just take it up for a minute. I mean, there's like another things that I just realized that right now we're just building it up for like a great opportunity because after the ups and downs of the Raiders season, because well, after the nightmare we just had like Josh McDaniels and Deb Ziegler, I mean, we're just getting out for this one. I mean, yeah, there's been like ups and downs for the season from 2023 to 2024 season. I mean, we're just getting to the playoff competition because once again the referees got screwed up, and that was between the game between Indianapolis Colts versus Las Vegas Raiders. And that was on New Year's Eve before the year started with 2024. I mean, which just kind of happened with the whole defense, but it's certainly like the play calling is getting the ball like very getting emotional about that, but it feels like yeah, they just happen to like another to get involved with this. But I think that the influence of Antonio Pierce as a new head coach, he brought a lot of great things because he knows about the leadership, discipline, and of course being aggressive. So I'm gonna put like a video to check them out for this one. All right, so let's just check it out for a few words about Antonio Pierce at our last press conference. So let's just check them out.
Our vision is clear. Win a division, get into the playoffs, and host that Lombardi Trophy. That's not a promise. That's our vision. Our philosophy is simple. It's real simple. It's the Raider way. Pride, poise, passionate, a love for the game, and just win.
All right, so there you have it. I mean, these are the words from Antonio Pierce getting bold for this time about the press conference. It's about be aggressive, be important, and of course, great mentality. I mean, they just happen a lot of times. I mean, when you get hype for the situation, when you just got Antonio Pierce as a new head coach, if you're not hyped, then what the heck are you doing here? I mean, what the heck are you doing here? Because if you're not feel the connection about the Raider Nation, I mean, this could have happened like a lot of this one. All right, so right now, ladies and gentlemen, so right now I'm gonna put the background music right here. So I'm gonna put on the like an epic situation right here. So I gotta tell you for this, folks, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest on backstage. You might know as the one of the amazing content creators for Raiders, and of course, he's been collaborating with the Vegas Sports Today, which is very important. So I had the privilege for the first time ever on my show on Civil and Black Experience. Right now, we had the man of the hour, the myth, the legend. We got right here, Kenny King Jr. How's it going, Mr. Kenny King Jr.? Welcome to the show, to the Civil and Black Experience with Rafael Chacín, as no es el Capitán Rafucho. How do you feel about it?
Feeling good, man. Thanks for having me on. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I was looking at the times a little bit differently, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, that's exactly. So right now, let's start with the first topic right here on this special episode of Civil and Black Experience. So first and foremost, right now we had a new head coach as no es Antonio Pierce. So right now, he just started that he was born in Compton, California. He just won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants. But we just found that not only he's a proven leader, but also he just got mentality of a champion, mentality of a leader, and he got a whole team, a lot of discipline. Something that we just get it after 20 years, because during that, the experiment between Josh McDaniels and Deb Ziegler, it became like a failure. But right now, with that decision of Antonio Pierce as a new head coach, it became like so great things that we had no to the next level. So how do you feel about for the impact of Antonio Pierce as a new head coach and how the things could start? Because after Josh McDaniels and Deb Ziegler got kicked out, so how do you feel about the impression that Antonio Pierce got the right decision as a new head coach? Because the voice of the people has spoken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the people have spoken, the players have spoken, the fans have spoken. AP is just that leader. He's that guy that he's polarizing. He united the fan base. I mean, you look at the fan base, this is the most united I've seen the fan base in since 2016, probably. And it's exciting to see. He definitely earned the job. He deserves the job. I know a lot of people were upset that we didn't interview Harbaugh, but you got to understand, like, Harbaugh he's got the accolades, he's got the resume, but he may not be the coach for this team. And we need somebody who's got that Raider mentality. And Antonio Pierce brings that to the Raiders. So I'm fired up about it. And looking at Tom Telesco, obviously AP's the guy that got him fired, but at the same time, like, you got to look at this at Tom Telesco's track record. You got to look at his resume. Drafting guys like Keenan Allen, Rashad, bringing Jerry Tillery, Quentin Nelson, all those guys. And so this team, I feel like, is poised. Really, we're a quarterback away. This team's poised to do some great things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly, because right now we just see like an expert of Antonio Pierce as a proven leader, because after we just do like during the games against New York Giants, his former team, New York Jets, that was like a big statement.
Mhm.
But we just have like a great importance on how we get to shock the entire world, because first and foremost, we just had a like record breaking against Los Angeles Chargers. Like that was like a historical moment for the Raider Nation. And then for the Christmas day, I mean, we just had like a perfect gift, a perfect win against Kansas City Chiefs. And do you just see like Patrick Mahomes crying? I mean, we just won, because right now the defense is getting like improved a lot, because we just see like a great weapons like Maxx Crosby, Amik Robertson, Colton Miller, Robert Spillane. I mean, they are dog inside. I mean, these are the proven moment that we can shock the entire world with a great defense. Also, we just improved about for the right receiver, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Devontae Adams. And right now, we just had a quarterback, which is Aiden O'Connor, which is AOC. I mean, that could have happened a lot. I mean, we just improve a lot of things. And we just get it like at a very involved that everything in the locker room, they show up with a lot of discipline. And right now, Antonio Pierce deserves a lot of things better. And we just saw like a video from the social media, smoking cigars. I mean, that was very classic for the Raider Nation. I mean, they just brought the whole culture back, because we're not trying to adopt the Patriot way just like a few years ago.
Exactly.
Because that's not. Because the Raiders culture is undeniable. Undeniable, because that was like a special moment. And I mean, that special moment that we just brought to bring it back to the whole Raider Nation culture, I mean, that was just like a spark, because years before, we just had a different culture, but we just like it embrace it for the Patriot way. But I mean, that experiment, it doesn't work it out. But right now, during that season, I mean, we just embraced the whole culture, and we just brought much aggression, played with great football, and of course, be prepared for what's getting the best.
Ill intent, physicality, violence, pain. That's the Raider way.
Yep.
That's the Raider way. And
that's exactly.
Every day, I start my day with tweeting that out. That's my good morning to Raider Nation. That's my way I get out of the bed. That's my mentality going into every day. And that should be Raider Nation's mentality going into every day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's just start to moving on for the next topic right here. I mean, that was just like very important. So right now, we just see like at a whole lot of level about for the defense and the offense. I mean, we just had Maxx Crosby, Robert Spillane, and of course, we got Amik Robertson. So how do you feel that season, the Raiders improved a lot of things better on the defense and the offense? Because during the last years, the defense and the offense, they just suck, because they just have a adopt Patriot way. But right now, we just see like an improvement to the next level. I mean, we just saw for the games against Giants, Jets, also with the Chiefs, Chargers, and of course against for the Denver Broncos, we just see a lot of improvement about for the defense, because we had to do like between speed, ability, and of course mobility. And that was just like a very good example of how the Raider defense, it became one of the best in 20 years. I mean, think about it. I mean, we just had a great defense for over the past 20 years. I mean, after we just saw for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Oakland Raiders for the Super Bowl, and we just lost it. I mean, yeah, that could happen a lot of things. But look at how the defense have improved a lot because we just have like a great elite players, but we
Yeah,
just have a sensation that something was missing. I mean, the
yeah,
coaching, I mean, the preparation, I mean, the play calling, because over the first weeks of the Las Vegas Raiders for during that season, I mean, we just had Josh McDaniels and oh, that's gonna be like a suck. But right now we just got Antonio Pierce and they
mhm,
just show up a lot of discipline. And
yeah,
look at it happen. Look, the Raiders had them winning to the top of the defense. I mean,
yeah.
how do you feel about it? I
I
mean,
mean, I
having
think
Mhm.
yeah, when you look at the defense, the defense takes the identity of their top players. They take the identity of their coach if they have a defensive minded coach. And Antonio Pierce spoke to that. He said that well, first he said in his presser when he got hired, full on Maxx Crosby energy. And I think that speaks volumes to it because you look at Max and what Max brings to that defense and his leadership by example, his vocal leadership. I mean, the man played on one leg for half the season and was playing 98% of the snaps. Nobody does that. Okay. First and foremost, he's a different animal. He's the same beast. He's somebody who just goes out there and gives it his 130% every single time. And that motivates your teammates. When you see somebody who's out there that's just giving it their all every single play, every single day, every day in practice. I mean, not just being that guy a couple plays a game. That motivates everybody, not just the defense, not just the offense, not just special teams, the coaching staff, the leadership, the fan base. It really motivates everybody. And so everybody kind of embodied that. They took on what Max was doing and they just took that whole energy. The other thing too is, Antonio Pierce took the handcuffs off of Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham was so handcuffed under Josh Daniels because Josh wanted things his way, the Patriot way, button down, like do this. That's not the way things going. And if you look at it, after the handcuffs were taken off, the Raiders defense got so much better. And the team itself was less penalized. And so those are things that you got to take into consideration. Like that leadership is crazy. Another thing that I look at is, just the way that some guys stepped up, Jack Jones coming in and just being a complete menace. Amik Robertson just laying the wood. Robert Spillane being I was worried coming in because it's like, okay, we lost Denzel Perryman. How are we gonna cover from that? Like Spillane's not really a coverage guy. Well, it turns out Spillane was a coverage guy, and he came in and he plays. I watched him play, and he plays a lot like Phil Villapiano. And so you see these guys that have that Raider mentality that they just go in there and play with passion, play with experience. And I'm excited to see what it's going to continue to do.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, we just see for a lot of comments right here. I mean, we just see like a lot of love in this comments right here. So we got Robert Pena, Nick 209. Also, we got Joel Leo, Robert Pena. Also, we got Matty G. We say the question is, okay, so we got the comment to say Jack Jones pick six with that look at Mahomes was an all-time Raiders moment. There you go. Yes. There you go. So we just had another comments for Ja Raider say Clink is where he left the building. Also, we got another comment to say Zach Robinson coming up tomorrow. I mean, that was just kind of happy with this one.
We got options.
Right, so, yeah. Also, a Grand Desert say like a question. Do either you have a coaching with list that Pierce filled the rest of the staff with coaches that are still available? I mean, that's a very interesting question. I mean, they have an open eyes for Zach Robinson, which is one of the incredible candidates for that season. I mean, they just have it like a staff for offensive playbook as well as all. I mean, just like a weird version of the right system with some McVay stuff argument onto it. But he had a very good resume before the Panthers hired him. So I just hope it like to get a second chance because I'm not very sure. But between Clinkersbury and Zach Robinson, I mean, that's clearly like a tough decision. But Zach Robinson, he was like a quarterback pass game coordinator for the Rams. And then he just took it to the Super Bowl against Cincinnati Bengals back in 2022. I mean, they're keeping an eye on it. I mean, he will raise it about for defensive talent. But I think even more about it.
I like him.
Yeah. But how's it having to go for Zach Robinson to be like a great candidate for the field position? I mean, he just won the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think that resume is very polished. I mean, he got a lot of great experience as a passing coordinator.
Yeah, I like Zach Robinson. I like Cliff Kingsbury. I also like Frank Smith, former tight ends coach of the Oakland Raiders. Either one of those guys are going to be a solid choice. It's really going to come down to also who the quarterback is. I'm a huge Jaden Daniels guy. I'm campaigning J5 to Vegas. Obviously, he played for Antonio Pierce as a kid. He played for Antonio Pierce at ASU. So there is that connection there. He has the ability to take the ball downfield, throw the ball downfield, move the sticks with his legs. And that's what we need. We want somebody who's going to be able to just be an ultimate playmaker at quarterback. Not to take anything away from AOC. I think that he did a solid job last year. But you can always improve. You can always upgrade at positions. And I think that, a guy like Jaden Daniels or Caleb Williams or Michael Penix or Drake May, this is a very, very deep quarterback class, and the Raiders have an opportunity to make some noise. And I'm excited about that. And whoever's the offense coordinator at that, if it's Zach Robinson, if it's Cliff Kingsbury, whoever it is, I want them to be able to have an innovative mind and have, come into it with a mindset that, we're going to take the ball downfield. We're going to throw the ball downfield. We're going to air it out. And then, we're going to make things easier for Josh Jacobs. And so that's the mentality that I'm going into with the season. I want to see the Raiders score more than 24 points per game on offense. And I want to see the Raiders shut people down on defense.
Yeah, exactly. And I would love to see that. Anything could happen. But right now, I just wanted to tell you about for those moments that are right here. But after we just signed up for Tom Telesco as a new Raiders general manager, because he had 11 years experience of Los Angeles Chargers. And we just ran about this epic moment about for Las Vegas Raiders versus Los Angeles Chargers. So one of my question is, after they just signed Tom Telesco as a general manager for Los Angeles Chargers, do you think that this could be like a possibility to bring back Khalil Mack to the Silver and Black Nation? Because after we just saw like a great piece of the Raider Nation, and then he just drafted up the Chicago Bears and then for the Los Angeles Chargers. But after they just signed Tom Telesco as a general manager, I mean, that could happen for once in a lifetime. But do you think that it's gonna be like a possibility to make sure that Khalil Mack is coming back to the Raider Nation before the season commences?
I think that there's a possibility. I know that a lot of Raider fans would love to see that. I mean, the combination of Max and Mac would be insane, right? Raider legend. But we also have to look at the improvement of Malcolm Kuntz and how Malcolm Kuntz has come into, his own and basically has, been a great force on the other side of the defensive line. I would love to have Mac back. It would have to be at the right price. You can't have two defensive ends on a max contract. Max going into his 11th year. This is, he's on his third contract. He got the big payday already. And so now this is, would he take a hometown discount? And that's the question is, would he return? Will we get the return of the Mac at a lower price? I mean, I'm all for him coming back, but I don't want to use, money that could go to a Jair Edwards or a Jair Alexander. I mean, or something of that matter, or Chris Jones, or, something like that, where, we don't necessarily need another defensive end. I would rather get another corner or another defensive tackle. But those are the things that I'm looking at.
That sounds very good about it. So I just really think that, Khalil Mack is, part of the most extraordinary players ever to come, because he was born in Fort Pierce, Florida, and he was so great. But right now it's just got for Los Angeles Chargers. So I think that because I was thinking about they're gonna bring back for Khalil Mack because he all represent for the Raider Nation, because he just got like a great speed ability. I mean, yeah, that could happen a lot, but I'm not very sure that they're gonna bring back, because after he was his contract is getting like involved for Los Angeles Chargers, getting involved for the cap space. I mean, they're gonna happen, but let's just have it like they shouldn't have to go for it. I mean, they had to go for like a very great decision, and of course had to go for it. Also, there's a lot of things to do because not only Antonio Pierce was a new head coach, also Tom Telesco, but also they just get involved for staying, which is Patrick Graham. So now Patrick Graham is made like a graded a second chance. I mean, the assistant coach at the defense around for made it like a strong unit. I mean, with Patrick Graham, they had some long benefits and under with the diversity rules. I mean, that guy right here, that Patrick Graham, it became like it's so much important for building out for the defense. I mean, that guy right here, the Patrick Graham, it became like so many difference had to go for a request at a defensive coordinator job and everything. But I mean, they just started like moving out to all the pieces for the defense. I mean, they probably had to go for it. I mean, in reality, the Prius is the face of the coaching staff, but Patrick Graham, he deserved a lot of more credit. But he was like a key advisor. But they also had to currently had to technically for building out for the defense. I mean, that really works about it. That really works all of the things that I had to do. But in some games, they didn't work it a lot, but some games he just scribble a lot to start with and knowledge for anything. I mean, how did they decide for the being staying with the Patrick Graham as the coordinator? And it became like a main reason that why the defense had to go so important under the importance of Patrick Graham.
Yeah, I mean, I think Patrick Graham did a great job. I think that he's going to be a guy who is, he had a few head coaching opportunities, interviews this year. I think that him coming back is huge for continuity of the defense, but also looking at, what he's going to be able to do to continue to build this defense. I think that Patrick Graham is a guy who next year, he's not going to be here. He'll be a head coach somewhere. He's an incredibly intelligent man, does a great job scheming a defense, does a great job, identifying talent and getting players where they need to be, putting players in the right position, calling the right defense for each down and each opportunity. And so I'm going to be kind of sad when we lose Graham, but I know I'm excited for him because he's somebody who's going to be a great head coach in the National Football League.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, Patrick Graham has been like he's focusing about the team, but I mean, he run the defense. I mean, a lot of things had to go to do. I mean, if the defense had to come to up twin for like a number of interviews to come down, but it might be the guy of the interviews about it. But remember when the last season everyone was screwing up with this be like the new pitchy. Now how the things are being changed a lot. I mean, keeping up for Patrick Graham is like being a head coach for the Nets here. I mean, they had the perfect guy for the job. I mean, that's what I love. Let's get focused on about the big picture and get it to the locker room, and let's get the defense playing out for this mind. Also, we're just having moving on for another two topics right here because right now, with Aiden O'Connor as being like a quarterback, which is not a starter quarterback because he's like a second quarterback. So who you think is going to be like in the mind for the quarterback for the next season for the Raiders? Is it going to be like between Baker Mayfield or Justin Fields? Because Russell Wilson, I don't think it's going to happen. But how do you think of the mind for the Nets big thing as a quarterback for the 2024-25 season for the Raiders? Because right now, Aiden O'Connor is a backup quarterback and Brian Hoyer is getting cut. So how do you think about it?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, get Jimmy Garoppolo the hell off my team. Get Brian Hoyer out of here. No disrespect to them, but just we don't need him.
Because the only thing we just got benched. That was like a early Christmas present. We just got Jimmy Garoppolo bench.
But I look at Baker and what he did in Tampa. He may have earned himself a contract down there. I know a lot of people are talking about Russell Wilson. Look, Russ ain't gonna work on this team. I'm gonna tell you right now, Russell Wilson is not going to fit in on this team. If anybody didn't like Derek Carr, you're not gonna like Russell Wilson. So those are two things right there that I want to get out. A guy that I look at, a free agent who could potentially be somebody the Raiders could look at is Kirk O'Banks. Kirk Cousins it's not the sexy name. He's not the sexy pick, but he is somebody who, he obviously can play the game. It's not the type of quarterback that I want, though. If the Raiders are going to trade, Justin Fields would be my first choice. But like I said, I want to draft a quarterback. I want to, get a franchise quarterback. Jaden Daniels is my number one choice.
That's a really good fair right here. All right, so here's the final question for you. I know we got to wrap it up for this show right here. I mean, this is going to be like a great Friday. So I just ask for some Raider content creators what it defines the Raider way with you. I mean, for me, like the Raider way is about culture, is about tradition, and the mentality of the leaders. So I ask for some Raiders content creators how to define the Raider way for you. So let's just start at what defines the Raider way with you. Like, let's start with Kenny King Jr. So how do you feel that the Raider way with you?
I mean, the Raider way there's so many things that go into that. It's, passion, it's intensity, it's, camaraderie, it's family. There's so many things that you put into it. Looking at the team and the mentality is honoring the alumni, honoring, the shield. Nothing it goes above the shield. Nothing is better than the shield. Being a true Raider is just celebrating diversity, celebrating, honor. And, that's one of the things that I've seen some fans get away from is just the celebration of diversity and celebration of the shield and looking at, how people want to deviate. Like I've seen some content creators that have been rooting for the Raiders to lose, that are rooting for Antonio Pierce to lose. I'm not going to give them any energy by saying their names because they're not worth it. But, that ain't the Raider way. I see people say, oh, let's tank. That ain't the Raider way. I don't care if we're 0-17 or 17-0. Like, I want to win every single game, and I don't want to beat teams up. Being a Raider is being a bully, being that guy that's feared, being that team that's feared. That's what they say with the freaking, it's just like what AP said. Ill intent, violence, physicality, pain. That's what you preach. And that's what being a Raider is about.
Yep, that's right. I mean, for me, this is like a great example for greatness. I mean, for me, the Raider way is all about tradition, culture, play good football. And for the head to say Black Sunday all day, all night long, because imagine that this is like a great example of greatness. We just had the greatest legends ever in the history of the Raiders. We just had Al Davis, John Madden, Ken Stabler. We just got speed kills. I mean, what are the biggest important players that we just saw for a long time? Also, we just got Michigan's own Charles Woodson. And look at behind over here, because we just brought like a great generations in different times. So we just look at it with the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, to 2000. You just look at them. Also, we can never forget the one and only the safety for Purdue, Stuart Scheinberg, which is one of my brothers, and I just went for different live streams, and I love him. But what you tell it about for diversity, I mean, that was so great. And because right now we just like the Raider Nation, and we just have said every people from every color, because there's no place for hate, there's no place for racism. Even though that I'm Hispanic, even though that I'm Latino, I'm from Venezuela, from South America, even though that I had a special condition, it doesn't stop at all. It doesn't stop at all, because we are like family. It's all part of the DNA. We're just part of the greatest thing. We are the misfits. I mean, people, they're just laughing at us because we're just like the laughing stock, but we just shock the entire world for the Raiders, because we just beat the Chargers in historical moment, the Chiefs on Christmas Day, the Denver Broncos twice. I mean, look at us. We just define a great moment, a great momentum to how to be like a Raider. Because whatever they said about for one catchphrase, once a Raider, always a Raider. because you can never forget about this one.
Except
You
for
can
Rating.
never. Mhm.
Except
And
for
when you
Rating.
use, yeah, and when you use like a black T-shirt, also, which is the mine right here with the Raiders, you always rep in black because always we just represent for the black T-shirt because we just get into the game right here. We just scream Raiders all the time. And that's the emotion, that's the passion that we needed because we're not like crybabies. We're like real men who wear black, and that's our mode right here because it's all about aggression. It's all about greatness. And of course, it's all about leadership, discipline, and of course, be part of who you are. Be yourself. Because the Raider Nation, it's all about family. It's all about the DNA. And I'm not kidding, folks, because
Where'd you
right
get that
now,
jersey at? That jersey's clean.
yeah, there you go. And shout out to Leo to provide of the Jersey Raiders with
I
the
need
number
that.
93 of that behind because, well, I gotta tell you for this something. Leo, he provided me like a clean jersey for the Raiders with a 93 behind because 93 is the year that I was born, but Capitán Rafucho is one of my nicknames that you can never forget about this. So yeah, that has it to go for it. All right, so let's check out for the comments right here. So let's just see what I got right here. Salute to my brother Leo. Also, we got Big Hack in the building. You say, hell no, we aren't tanking, and Antonio Pierce is not going to fall. We all guessed, and no motherfucking breaks. There you go. All right, so Leo to say the 80s and the 90s in LA were great times. That's a fact. Also, Grand Dad to say Kenny King Jr. with the number one pick for the number 13. Who should believe should the pick the player upon the table for? Also, I just had a great choice, but I would love to get it used in the number 13. I mean, they're gonna choose like a quarterback for LCU, which is Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's like a great choice for me. I mean, he got the ability, he got the speed. I mean, he got everything. I mean, he has also had the connection with Antonio Pierce at that time. But I mean, Jaden Daniels is like a great choice to make it to the draft pick. So who do you think is gonna be drafted on the number 13, whether it comes to in April? It's gonna be like a quarterback, or a receiver, a running back.
We're gonna trade up. We're gonna trade up and get a quarterback. Trade up and get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. There you go. All right. Let's just see if another comments right here. If that only were true, Rafa, there are some fans out there that probably crying about everything. I mean, yeah, that
Fuck them. Like Jack Johnson said, fuck them.
But anyways, I just wanted to tell you that was like a great show to us to talking about for Raiders from the beginning to the end. So right now, Mr. Kenny Jr., I just wanted to tell you them where can we find you on the social media to be part of this? And I just wanted to tell you that about subscribe to Kenny Jr.'s channel on YouTube. And right now, you just got a new milestone. You just got 400 subscribers, and I'm the subscriber number 400. So congratulations.
No, I got 4,000. I got 4,000. I appreciate you for being that 4,000. First and foremost, appreciate you having me on. Everybody that's on here, make sure you like, subscribe, you set notifications. Now, where you can find me, you can go to my website, kennykingjr.com. You can follow me on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, I don't understand what the hell is wrong with you, but it's at KennyKing_Jr. Yeah. Oh, Leo, man, I'm glad you had a good time with that. Also, Raider Nation, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm kind of funny. I don't know. You might think I'm funny. Yeah. At @the_KennyKing_Jr. But yeah, you go to the website, it gives you links to everything. Follow me.
Yep. There you go. And of course, you can follow me on the social media, Twitter, X, as known as Capitán Rafucho. On Instagram, at El Capitán Rafucho. Also, you can subscribe me on YouTube. Rafael Chacín, as known as El Capitán Rafucho. You can type El Capitán Rafucho on YouTube, and bam, there are some live streams talking about for Raiders and more. So thank you very much for having us on the Civil and Black Experience with our special guest, Kenny King Jr. for the Bag of Sports today. And as your host, Rafael Chacín, as known as El Capitán Rafucho, I will send you for this. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And of course, let's get ready to rumble, because before that, on Saturday, I have a little surprise for you guys. because not only I just wanted to talk about for something about the professional baseball from Venezuela, but also I just wanted to get the details for the WWE Royal Rumble 2024.
Yeah.
Also, Big Reg, thanks for the donation for the channel of Kenny King Jr. $2. There you go.
Hey, appreciate you.
All right, so have a great night, folks. Have a great weekend, and here's one last thing to do about it. Just win, baby, at the lyrics of Al Davis and Black Sunday all day, all night long. So fuck the haters. Yeah, Raider Nation for life. So have a great one, folks. So salute to you.